Zacchaeus was a wee little man, and a wee little man was he. He climbed up in a sycamore tree, for the Lord he wanted to see. And as the Lord was passing by, he looked up in that tree, and he said, Zacchaeus, you come down, for I'm going to your house today. For I'm going to your house today. Amen. Now, not everyone who is short has a complex about their height. And there are other ways to be small that have nothing to do with feet and inches. Chances are good that our man Zacchaeus had been bullied at some point in his life. So when Rome came along and said, hey, we need some people to collect taxes, and you can take whatever you think you can get by with as long as you give us this much. And Zacchaeus said, oh, I know some people who owe me a lot more than taxes. I'll do it. And suddenly, this little bullied man becomes a bully. Give me your taxes. I don't have taxes. Give it to me anyway. Hold out your hand. Whack. And it wasn't just a slap on the wrist. And then he hears about this guy Jesus. And then he hears that this guy Jesus is headed our way. And he wants to see him. How tall is this guy? Does he look like a bully? Does he look like he has money? That I could maybe get some taxes from him as he passes through. So he climbs up in a tree, and in addition to seeing Jesus, he gets the surprise of his life. Jesus sees him, and not just a, who is that up in the tree? And walk on. No, this is a soul-searing look into the eyes, into the soul of Zacchaeus. And he says, hey, you need to host lunch today. And so Zacchaeus part climbs, part falls out of the tree in his excitement. You probably have that image in your head, or you've done that, or seen somebody else do it. It may not be a tree, but they've gotten excited and they've fallen down the steps in the hurry to get to preach for the first time in 6 weeks. And Zacchaeus is excited because of all the people in this entourage, all the people lining the streets to see this Jesus. He's the one that Jesus points to and says, I need to eat at your house today. What's for lunch? And I have always thought that as Zacchaeus stood there at the base of the tree was when he said, if I've defrauded anyone, I give whatever it is he says. You heard it once. But this year, since I've had plenty of time to think about it, this year I think he waited until after lunch, where he had time to eat and talk and listen, where he's had time to encounter Jesus, he makes the statement, half of my stuff, half of my possessions I give to the poor, and if I've defrauded anyone, those bullies, I'll give it back 4 times. Being seen by Jesus also meant that he got to see himself, or that he had to see himself, that he saw himself. And for us, knowing that Zacchaeus has been seen means that we get to see something too. We get to see Zacchaeus, and we get to see ourselves, have to see ourselves. Because we have this whole group of people that we don't even know, because we have been told you're not supposed to like those people. And the other way is you're not supposed to like those people. And so we don't. Somebody told me not to like you. And we have this whole class of people that we ignore, that we're trained to ignore. Our son used to work in a nursery, a garden center, and I asked him, that was in a well-off, well-to-do neighborhood, and I asked him, do people come one week and then come the next and ask for you to help? And his response was, Dad, they don't even know I have a face, let alone a name. I thought that was kind of sad. And I've done it. Walked right past somebody and they say hi, and I know that person, but I was geared into ignoring them. So Jesus shows us that God sees those people we don't like, the people who watch that network, the people who get their news from there, the people who have tattoos, the people who think that tattoos are ugly and gross. Jesus shows us that those people are God's people. The way Jesus said it was because he too is a child of Abraham. He's a tax collector, not just for the IRS, but for Rome. That's not the kind of people that I want to have anything to do with. Oh, well, then I guess Jesus says that I'm not somebody you want to have anything to do with, because I like Zacchaeus. If an encounter with Jesus can root out being bullied and becoming a bully from Zacchaeus, then perhaps an encounter with Jesus can root out our willingness to dislike and ignore those people and plant compassion in its place.